This video shows you how to prepare a tongue space for the impression. I actually want this a little bit on the runny side. I'm going to add a little water to it when we're doing tongue space. Want it a little on the runny side, and I'm going to place a wet paper towel in my tongue space area, and I want that short of the depth of the vestibule. Then I'm mixing about 1 scoop of alginate. I really don't even probably need a whole scoop. And I'm going to have a wet finger, wetting my finger, put it in here like this. And with a wet finger, you have to keep your finger wet. I'm going to spread this material out. I want it to be just short of this peripheral roll. I want to capture the roll on my impression. So, not perfect, but smooth it off with a wet finger. Let this set. And you won't be digging out your impression from real deep, getting really deep and having the alginate and the stone come up over the edge of the impression. So this is basically how to prepare a tongue space. In summary, you start with your edentulous or partially edentulous impression. In the middle, add paper toweling to a height of about 5 millimeters below the peripheral roll. Then mix your alginate and place it up to about 2 millimeters from that vestibular roll. Be sure to keep it below the actual roll. Hope to end up with a tongue space prepared as shown in this slide, with a nice smooth surface that was prepared with paper toweling, alginate, and a good wet finger. Here's what the paper toweling would look like on a partially edentulous impression. Notice that again it's about 5 millimeters below the peripheral roll. With the alginate added, this is what it would look like as a finished result. In this way you will get a very nice tongue space on your cast when it's poured. You will notice that there's a lot of unsupported alginate on the top area of that impression, above the tray that's in blue. One common mistake is for the toweling to actually depress the alginate impression, thus distorting the ridge. This final cast, the ridge would be much narrower than on the actual patient. This shows you a comparison of what the ridge would or should look like on the bottom and what you have done by distorting the impression on the upper portion of the slide. The second common error is for the dentist to extend the tongue space material over the periphery of the impression and down into the area where the ridge should be. This will produce a cast that is undersized, and any prosthesis produced on it will have tremendous sore spots in that area, or it will not seat at all. Do not try to box your alginate impressions. You'll end up distorting the flange areas and end up with an inaccurate cast. So, what would you like to do? Take a couple of minutes to box your final impression and pour it up, and get a nice result like this where the tongue space is smooth and you have no work to do after the cast is produced. Or spend 20 minutes or 30 minutes trying to dig out those deep fold areas so that you can make a custom tray or a record base accurately on that cast.